You know those conversations, the ones that just click, the ones where you walk away feeling truly seen and understood? Well, what if you could have more of those? Today, we're going to break down 6 powerful habits that can help you create a real, lasting connection with pretty much anyone. Now, here's the thing that might flip your thinking on its head. In a world that's always telling us to take charge, to read the conversation, the real secret to deep connection is, well, it's the exact opposite. It's about learning how to follow someone else's train of thought with real, genuine curiosity. And just let this sink in for a second. Most people will go their entire lives and never have someone truly, deeply listen to them for more than 10 minutes. I mean, 10 minutes. That's it. So you can see there's this incredible opportunity here. If you can be that person, the one who actually listens, you basically develop a silent superpower. So yeah, that's the big question, right? What's the secret sauce? Well, the answer isn't about being funnier or smarter than everyone else. It's about a handful of very specific skills. And that's what we're going to dive into right now. Okay, first up, habit number 1. This is the foundation for everything else. And it sounds so simple. You have to stop interrupting. You have to learn how to create a little space in the conversation for the other person to fully express themselves. So let's look at the difference here, because it's huge. On the left, you've got your typical everyday chat, right? Lots of interruptions, quick jokes, people talking over each other, and hey, it can be fun. But it's not where the magic happens. On the right, that's our goal. Giving people space, letting them actually finish their thoughts, even letting a little silence hang in the air, that's the fast track to real connection. But, and this is a really important but, there is one time when interrupting is actually the right move. It's when someone says something really emotional and then tries to just speed right past it. Your interruption isn't to change the subject. It's to gently say, hey, I heard that, and that sounds important. And this example just perfectly shows what we're talking about. The person shares something incredibly vulnerable, almost as a throwaway line. But instead of just letting it go by, the listener stops them. They gently interrupt to explore it. That one question, you really mean that? Shows so much care and basically gives the other person permission to be truly, fully seen in that moment. And that leads us right into our second habit, what to do in those emotional moments. Because once you create that safe space by not interrupting, well, people will often start to open up and share something vulnerable. So what do you do then? Now, our first instinct for most of us is to do something, right? We want to fix it, we want to tell a story, cheer them up, but the most powerful thing you can do is often to do less. The key, like you see here, is to just stay present, say less, and focus on supporting them, not solving their problems. Your calm presence is often the greatest gift you can give. So why is this so important? Well, because when someone's really in their feelings, they're processing something internally. If you jump in with a long story about your own experience, even if you mean well, you can accidentally pull them right out of that process. You kind of end up making it about you instead of staying with them in their moment. And here's just a beautiful example of using fewer words. The listener asks this really profound question. The person takes a beat, they find their words, and they share this incredibly heartfelt message. And the response isn't some big analysis, it's just 3 words. You did it. That simple phrase perfectly acknowledges the emotional weight of what just happened, and it lets the moment land without adding any unnecessary noise. Okay, so someone has just shared something really vulnerable. You stayed present, you used fewer words. Now what? This brings us to habit number 3, something called empathetic mirroring. This is how you actually respond to show them you truly get it. So what is it exactly? It's actually pretty simple. You listen really carefully, and then you just reflect the emotional heart of what they said back to them. And you do it in your own words. It's not about being a parrot. It's about capturing the feeling behind what they said. Now, this slide is so important. It shows the difference between anticipating and mirroring. Anticipation, that comes from your head. You're trying to guess what they're going to say next based on your own life. But mirroring, that comes from the heart. You're staying right there with them in the moment, just summarizing what they just said. One usually gets a no, that's not it, while the other gets that yes, exactly moment. And here's what it looks like when you absolutely nail it. After hearing a story about watching a movie with a son, the listener reflects back the emotional core, he saved you. And look at that response, without question. That immediate enthusiastic agreement, that's how you know the mirror was perfect. The other person fused completely and totally understood. So far, pretty much everything we've talked about has been reactive, skills you use when someone opens up. But what if you're stuck in boring small talk? Well, habit number 4 is about how you can proactively shift the conversation to a deeper place. And the tool for this is what are called chunky questions. These are questions that are specifically designed to just blow right past the surface level stuff and invite someone into a really meaningful reflection instantly. They're like a shortcut to a real conversation. And here are some fantastic examples. Just notice you can't answer these with a simple yes or no, can you? They require some real thought, maybe a little vulnerability, and definitely a story. These questions are a direct line to what really matters to a person. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How do I ask one of these without it being super awkward? And that's fair. So here is a brilliant and really simple way to do it. Just frame it like this. It makes it feel less like an interrogation and more like a fun shared exploration. It's an easy way in for both of you. All right, we've covered creating space, navigating emotions, mirroring, asking chunky questions. Habit number 5 is really the one thing that holds all of this together. It's the core of everything. Cultivating your presence. And this is the true superpower we talked about. It's the ability to quiet your own mind, to stop planning your reply or thinking of a story you want to tell, and to just let your full attention rest on the other person. You're not leading anymore, you're following. And this is why it's so incredibly hard. Our own egos are constantly trying to get in the way, right? We all want to be seen as funny or smart or helpful, but real connection, that only happens when we can shift our focus from how am I doing to who is this person in front of me. Which brings us to our 6th and final habit, which is honestly just to practice. This is all just theory until you actually go out and do it. So here's your challenge. Let's make it real. Who in your life, your partner, a friend, a coworker, will you give just 10 minutes of your undivided, fully present attention to this week? Just try it. You might be absolutely amazed at the connection you can build.